Good morning! Well, it's morning while I'm filming this. Welcome to your reading. I'm Wounded Warrior Tarot, and I decided I wanted to do some additional messages during the week. So, I'm going to go ahead and do some shorter, small messages. Well, I tried to make it short anyway. But if you clicked on this and you felt pulled to this message, then this is something that you need to hear. I have what feels like a broader message along here for a lot of people, and then down here something a little more specific for someone or a small group of people in particular. So understand, if the first part makes sense to you and then the second part doesn't, just take the first part and run with it. Okay. So the beginning of this reading, we're going to start with the Gaia card. These are, by the way, the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen Farmer, and they are beautiful. This is another one that I think is fairly common. A lot of readers have this one. I will be getting some unique tarot decks, by the way. Just give me some time to build up my collection. But we're going to start with the Gaia card. And the Gaia card, some of you probably already know, Gaia is sort of a way of referring to Mother Earth and that from which we all spawn, I guess. But this card, it says nurturing here. And the idea here in this particular reading is about receiving. Sometimes we are raised and conditioned to believe that receiving help is bad. It means that we're lazy, or we're screwing up, or we're, taking advantage of people or of a situation. And there are plenty of people who do that, but in this message, I'm hearing that maybe you are not great at accepting help or accepting love, because this doesn't necessarily have to be financial. And I have a feeling that it might actually not be. But like I said, I think the top row is a message for a lot of people, and the bottom row is a message for specific people. So anyway, the point is, receiving is just as important as giving. It is just as sacred is what the book says. It says receiving can be as sacred as giving. But basically, that idea that you're a better person when you're able to give to people, that idea that we're raised with, that we should help others and give to charity, and that makes us a better person, which I believe that it does. Being able to receive can mean the same thing. So I don't know if you're having trouble accepting help, and this can also mean that it's just coming and you don't have it yet, and it's just a warning of like there's help coming to you, but you need to be able to be open to it. Because if you're just like, no, I can do it myself, or no, I don't deserve this, or I don't want to be a burden, or I don't want you to pretend to like me when you really don't, or any of these nasty insecurities that get inside our head when we're young and we just carry it throughout our lives, that can really stop you from receiving the nurturing that you're supposed to receive. So this is saying that this is something that you need to focus on. Be able to receive, be able to accept help, be able to be open to people. And the next, these two cards have relatively similar meanings in this reading, actually. So the River card, this is actually the reason why I bought this deck. It's just beautiful. I love that card. The River card, also labeled movement, can sometimes mean that something has already been set in place, but because it's moving so slow, you can't actually tell. But there is movement. I'm sorry about the glare. But I think in this situation, it sort of represents the flow of life. Life has a pattern to it, a direction that your life is going in, and it's possible that you might be fighting that direction. You might be fighting against it because you're thinking, I'm losing control, I'm trying to do things the right way, and things just keep falling apart. I keep getting stopped, and I don't understand it. Just something that I personally experience regularly, so I understand. And an example might be, maybe you started a hobby that you could actually make a profit off of, but you don't expect it to be a lot. And you're not doing well financially, and you're trying to get a job in a field that you normally work in. Say maybe you're a server regularly and you're working in restaurants and you're trying to get a restaurant job. You're trying to make money off of it. It's not working. Maybe you're being punished at work unfairly and your job is on the line. You're worried about losing it, or maybe you can't get a job and you're like, I don't understand why this isn't working. And whatever hobby you started is like starting to pick up a profit. This could be spirit and your spirit team trying to line up a different life where you're doing something that you truly enjoy for a living. And if you're fighting it by focusing all of your attention on the traditional jobs and not on the thing that you're supposed to be moving into as your future career, then you're fighting against the flow of life. You're fighting against spirit, and you need to be in a space where you're co-creating with them. So when it feels like the whole world is literally stopping you from doing something, it might be. And it might be time to consider if this is really where you're supposed to be. Because 2020 is a year of very big changes for everyone. I mean, on a universal scale. And if it's time for you to change the direction of your entire life, this will be the year that you do it. Okay, so also we have Green Man, also known as Synergy. Synergy is frequently and commonly used to define those times when things seem to connect really, really easily. For example, let's say you meet a new friend out of the blue and you've been looking for a job and you're hanging out with this friend, and then you randomly wind up in a place where you bump into an old boss that you actually liked, and then the old boss offers you a job and you're like, why is everything just falling into place? It's so crazy. This card is indicating that you are in a space of that synergy. Maybe you're seeing repeated numbers, maybe you're having weird dreams that are like prophetic, or maybe things just seem to be falling in place, and if they're not, they will be soon. And this again is about the flow of life. If you're being stopped or blocked, it's something that you need to let go of, and you need to allow spirit to sort of move you into the direction that you're supposed to be going, because something better and something more aligned with your higher self and the journey that you're meant to be taking is coming. So don't fight it. Take a deep breath. Take it one day at a time, but also take time to meditate and figure out, is this really where I want to go? Now, here's where I start to get an interesting vibe here. The DNA Karma card. Now, this card talks about ancestral patterns and basically a choice between destiny and fate. So I'm seeing that either you have expectations placed on you by your family or your environment, or you're being pulled into a pattern of your ancestors or family, or even your past self. And it's something that would be very, very easy to do. But it's not what you want, and you want to break away from that and be different somehow. You can change these patterns. Your higher self is saying to you right now, whenever your intuition kicks in and you start feeling like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be like this, I don't want to be like this person, my family, my past, I don't want to be like my environment, or I can do this and I'm great at it, but I just don't want to. Or it could just be your past too. It could be like, I've done this so many times, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to be different. I want to break my pattern, my cycles, and do something else. And when you feel that push inside of you, like, please, I don't want to do this, that's your higher self saying, you shouldn't. You can break away. You can make these changes, and spirit can help you. You have to co-create. You have to be in communication with spirit. You have to tell your spirit guides, this is what I want, and then you have to be open to receiving those messages and those little moments. I don't have nails. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at this. So those little moments that pop up that it's like, wow, that went together really, really well. That was easy. Or that this whole new world, like 7 new doors just opened up over just meeting a new person or moving to a new place. You know, you need to be open to these things, because that's spirit communicating with you and trying to direct you into your new life. So basically this top message is you're on the brink of a really big change. And it's something that I think you really want. And Spirit is trying really hard to get you there. But you might be fighting this change. You might be fighting it and not even realizing it. You might be desperately scraping, grabbing, trying to bring things back into the way that they were. Trying to get control again. Trying to gain your stability by repeating a pattern. And Spirit is saying, nah, we're not doing that anymore. You know? Let us guide you into something new. And with that, you need to be open to your new messages. You need to be open to new possibilities, meeting new people, you know, researching new opportunities, and you need to be open to receiving help. And it could be financial, it could be love, it could be emotional support, something. You're receiving something that you need to be able to be open for. So that's the first part of this message. Then we get into something a little more specific here, and somebody needs to hear this. So if I start going through this and it makes sense, I need you to stay to the end. And if it doesn't make sense and you're like, no, that's not me, then go ahead and peel out. Okay, so we start with the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is a fame card, but it doesn't have to necessarily be fame. It can represent just success, pride in your work, and public recognition of, like, maybe being promoted or just being known for doing a good job or being successful in some way. The Nine of Pentacles here. Oh, here's the... Sorry, I didn't bring it up here. It's a really pretty card. This is the Wizard's Tarot, by the way, if I didn't mention. I got this at Barnes & Noble, so I really don't know if they still sell it, but I might try to find it online and post a link in one of my videos. I should start doing that. I just started the channel. I promise I will get my stuff together. But anyway, so this is the pride, the success, the victory, the public recognition card. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is about the fruits of your labor. This is about the abundance that you get from the work that you've put in. It's a success card, and it typically indicates that you're doing really well, and it's a good omen. However, in this particular reading, I feel like we want to focus on the fact that this is a 9. Now, in the tarot, the 10 is the number of completion. After you go past the 10, you get into the Page, the Knight, the Queen and King, and they are people or characteristics or personality traits. So once you hit that 10, you've hit the completion, but this is a 9, and that indicates to me that while you may have your stuff together, something is still missing. And I'm really picking up on that here, especially in connection with this nurturing card, because I kind of feel like this is a love reading, honestly. I feel like you're missing someone. Let me keep going here. But this is, so I feel like here we're saying, you know, maybe you're doing pretty well, or maybe you're, I don't know, maybe things are coming together, you're feeling pretty successful, but you just feel like something is missing. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. And the Queen of Cups is a raw emotion card. So in reverse, this Queen of Cups can mean that you've got a lot of bottled up emotions, you're feeling a little sensitive right now. It can also mean that you're giving way too much. You know, maybe you're helping people and you're, you know, hoping that it will create a bond, and it's not, or it hasn't worked. This could be in the past too, like the recent past most likely, but it could mean that you know, you're being very nurturing yourself, and you're giving, but you're not getting back what you thought you would. Also, sometimes when we have emotions built up inside of ourselves and we don't really want to talk about them, you know, maybe you're feeling like lonely or upset, and you're like trying to reach out to people and try to build a connection, and it's not working, and maybe maybe you're getting a little irritated, or maybe your self-esteem is really low because of it. Sometimes that can manifest in our actions and also the way that we talk to other people, which can create a really bad negative feedback loop. So it's best to look at your emotions thoroughly, figure out how you're feeling and how those feelings may be coming out of you when you're around other people. But I'm really picking up on that idea with this message, you guys, that you really gave a lot and you didn't get back what you were expecting, and maybe you're a little heartbroken over it. But if you work on these emotions, you keep them in check, and you understand where they're coming from and how they're affecting the way that you interact with other people, and you let spirit guide you to your blessings and your change, and you're open to receiving that change, then we have the Wheel of Fortune upright. The Wheel of Fortune is exactly what it says. It's good luck. It's things changing. And it goes pretty deep, honestly, because this can be considered like the fate card, the cycles of life. And again, like I said, 2020 is a year of very big changes. We're talking about a divine network, ancient forces working on the fates of everyone, you know? Everything is turning and changing right now, and it feels like chaos. And sometimes we have that sort of draw back and launch forward thing where things get really, really bad and you feel really empty right before you launch into a huge change. And I think that that's what's happening to you right now. If you follow the advice of these cards and what Spirit is trying to say to you, you have a really big change coming. You have good luck coming. These patterns that you've been stuck in the past, maybe you've been drawing bad people into your life, people that maybe you see the good in but have taken advantage of you or were not prepared to receive from you. You know, it's possible that they were meant to learn life lessons and be in hardship, and you tried to rescue them from that, and you weren't supposed to. Yeah, I think that something just didn't work the way you wanted it to, and I think it was really upsetting. But like I said, big changes coming with this card. And then lastly, we finish off with the always beautiful Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups, this is why I think it's a love reading, because the Ace of Cups usually represents love, Cups represents emotions, and the Aces are new beginnings. So I see that at the very least there's a new beginning. You're starting fresh. You are ready to let go of the past. You are ready to start new. I really feel like you're tired of carrying it around. You're tired of being in your emotions. You're tired of being sad or angry. You're ready for a big change, and you're getting one on the horizon. I really feel like this is a new love or a new relationship. Definitely new possibilities. This can sometimes come after you've been alone or in pain for a really long time. You know, maybe you've been trying to recover from a heartbreak, and this card is coming to say there is something just on the other side of the hill waiting for you that is wonderful and fulfilling. You know, again, fill your cups. The Cups card's about emotions. The Ace of Cups is true, genuine fulfillment. This could be a soulmate or a twin flame that you're finally connecting with. You know, 2020, a lot of people are meeting their soulmates and their twin flames in 2020. So I'm seeing that you're sitting in a place right now where you may have potentially felt hopeless for a long time, and you are starting to feel like you've got maybe a new passion. Maybe you're starting to feel that there's a possibility you're ready, you've healed at least enough that you're ready to bring someone into your life, and this someone is close to you. Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to pull one of these guys and just see what I come up with. within the next few months. Yeah, I don't think you're very far away from this change at all. And honestly, I think that that's a maximum. I think it's possible that it's even sooner than that. So the main thing that I want you guys who have stayed for the second half of this reading to focus on is this thing that's missing. It's not far away. And I want you to focus on your emotions and how you're feeling and your traumas, and check in with yourself and make sure that you're not sitting in a cycle, repeating this, maybe being bitter or being heartbroken, or your self-esteem is really low and you're like, it's not going to happen, nobody wants me, I'm just going to stay in this place that I've always been in. Excuse me, because Spirit is saying, no, you have a huge change coming, you have new possibilities, a new life, you're starting over. And I think that for at least some of you, you're meeting a soulmate or a twin flame, and a new love is coming into your life. This is a really positive reading. The main things to just focus on are, again, you need to be open to receiving. You need to make sure that you are willing to let someone into your life. Focus on the signs with that synergy. When you start seeing things fall together, don't fight against it. If things aren't working, don't fight against that either. You know? Because your spirit team and just your fate in general is trying really hard to put you where you belong. And this is where you belong. You know? Time to shine. Time to have good luck. Time to have love. Time to have fulfillment. Okay? You're right there. You're at your 9. You're almost to the 10. Just a little bit further. Okay, guys? Check in with your emotions. Again, meditate. Make lists. Just do some automatic writing. I'm mad today. This is why I'm mad. And just watch it. Just unfold. And you will just go through so many emotions and so many thoughts. And it's really good to be aware of what they are and where they're coming from. And they can go back as far as when you were like 7 years old. But it'll help you understand the way you behave around other people and the feedback that you get, and whether or not you're able to let someone in. Because you want to be emotionally available for this. Trust me. Okay? Now tune in, guys. Every Tuesday I'm going to try to have a pick a card up, and then on Fridays I'm going to do like a fast Friday messages. So anytime you just feel the need for advice, you can come on over to my channel and see what I got available for you. Subscribe for notifications whenever I have something posted, and I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, guys.